New York has the highest Medicaid bill, or the highest Medicaid program. It costs New Yorkers 24% more to fund Medicaid here in the state than California or Texas and Florida combined, and they have 17 million more people. Our county average to carry Medicaid is $7.3 million, and that's a large portion of our budget. So yes, I do agree with the Association of Counties. I would like to see the state take over the entire Medicaid system and alleviate the burden on us as county taxpayers. The state has direct control over Medicaid, more direct control than the counties, and I do believe that the state should take it over. I also believe that optional services could also be reduced if necessary, if that didn't happen. Thank you.
Mr. Steck, do you need any of the questions we read?
This is an example where, as a county legislator, I have clearly shown leadership on this issue. I was a member of the Health Committee of the New York State Association of Counties when we convinced the state to cap Medicaid growth. I was attending a meeting today which was sponsored by Senator Chuck Schumer with a number of elected officials. And I want to make a point that the Republican minority leader of the Albany County Legislature said at this meeting that unless the state took over Medicaid and stopped forcing us to pay for it, we would be unable to provide necessary services to, for example, the elderly, such as Meals on Wheels, without exceeding the tax cap. That's from the Republican minority leader. This is not a partisan issue. Chuck Schumer also took the same position I took and have always taken, which is Medicaid should be a state responsibility. And that would force the state to reform the system instead of offloading its costs to the counties.
All right, Mr.
Is that education and aid has always been a political football. The state senators with the most clout, they're able to seize the most aid for their districts, and a lot of it goes away from the capital district to places like Long Island. What we need to do is take the politics out of education funding, develop a formula that is fair to all districts across the state, have the legislature set the total amount of aid available, and then it would be distributed in accordance with the formula. That would be a huge help to Schenectady. A second point is the lottery was developed to fund education, and yet that money is being displaced for other purposes. We need to return the lottery money to its original purpose, increase aid to education, stop laying off teachers, put the money in the classroom where it belongs, and not into additional bureaucracy and unnecessary supervision. Thank you.
Ms. Whalen.
Schools, my parents were both school teachers. They were public school teachers. And I remember as a little girl, my mother was the representative to the teachers union at Cohoes High School on behalf of all the teachers. And teachers used to come over and talk around our kitchen table about overcrowded classrooms and how we needed to make sure that there were enough teachers and no overcrowded classrooms. And my mother said to me, don't you go after the Taylor Law or the Triborough Amendment, because I helped to negotiate that. But what we really need is the schools. We need to get the money into the classrooms and to the teachers. And this gap, I've talked to Senator Farley, I've talked to the superintendent of South Colony Schools, and this gap elimination adjustment assessment is crippling upstate schools. It is sending a lot, it's unfair, it's a formula that is unfair. When we get into the legislature, when I get there, we want to reassess it, reformulate it, so that we can provide relief to the upstate schools and those school districts that are lower income and higher need.